All right, chest and back today. We're cutting right now, but we're still gonna push some weight. So I'm so glad that you guys are here with me. Let's go work out. Welcome back, everyone. So glad that you guys are here. Just started up with a bunch of warm-up sets with my wide grip pull downs and the incline hammer strength bench. We're starting with that tonight. And I started with 45 in each side for 20 reps. And then a 25 in each side for 20 reps. And then two 45s in each side for 20 reps. So we're gradually, progressively overloading, pyramiding, and doing the same thing here. I'm starting things out a little different tonight to where we'll start with that incline hammer strength and just switch things up a little bit. Make it interesting. So, all right, appreciate you guys. Thanks for tagging along. At 140. Okay, got two 45s and a 25 in each side. So this is our third set? No, fourth set. Okay, feeling pretty good so far. And two with these, we're doing our long range partials, our X reps. So for all the viewers out there that think I'm only doing half reps, you're right. But there is a purpose to it. So I'm trying to keep constant tension on the muscle. And that top part there is a lot more of the triceps. Trying to keep a little bit of that outlet, trying to keep more of it on the targeted muscle that we're trying to do. So I'm supersetting these with the back. So, and then the wide grip pull downs, we're doing that as well. So, all right, we'll put 3 wheels on. Next set here with 180. All right, go to 200 for our next set. Okay, we'll see how this set feels. I'll try to get 5 or 6, and then we'll start using our elbow wraps. Okay. Okay. We'll use the elbow wraps for the next set. I don't know. Probably go up by between 20 and 40 pounds. We'll see. All right. I'm gonna start using our wrist straps now. Our chic wrist straps. And a fun way, if you ever want to be able to support the channel, my Amazon link is right next to my link tree or in my link tree. So if you go through there and you purchase these, or you go through my link and do your own shopping, it's a nice way to be able to support the channel. It gives me like kickbacks. I think that's what they're called. So kind of a fun way to do it. Even when you don't have to directly buy anything that I'm selling. Just do your normal shopping. All right, okay, 200 pounds. One more. Okay, we'll go to 220 for that last set. See if we can try to get 6 to 8. 220 on here now. This will be our final set. Try to get 8 reps, but we'll see. Maybe 6. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. One more. Whew. All right, 345s and 10. Let's get serious. Hard to get in here with the elbow wraps. Only 4, but they take it past failure. So, set's not wasted. Okay, so we're doing our lower incline press, but we're doing a little different tonight to where we're not using the barbell. So I started with 30s and then 40s, and now moving on to 55s. I did 20 reps for those previous 2 sets, and then really focused in the bottom stretch position to really get that tissue prepped and warmed up, because it's stretched a little bit differently than it was on the other exercises, especially with dumbbells. Range of motion, it's a little more freeing than the other movement. So, all right, probably do between 12 and 20 here, and then we'll move up, see how these feel. And 2, also doing the long range partials on these to keep more emphasis on the chest. So we'll go to 65s for our next set. All right, so this is gonna be our 4th set here, doing the 1-arm hammer strength rows, or as I like to call them, the Adam rows. So basically like starting your lawnmower, except a really big machine. So focusing on 8 reps on this exercise. Don't want to go down to 6 reps unless it's just a really heavy set. So let's get on with it. Focusing on 1 arm at a time in the stretch. Definitely a lot stronger with this being my 2nd exercise. Jump into this next one real quick. Okay, we'll go to 5 plates for our next set. All right, 65 pounds. We're gonna do about 12 reps with this. All right, we're starting on our next set here. 5 plates, gonna still try to do about 8 reps. And I'll take a second before I move on to my left arm or left side, just because you start to get heavy after a while. And yes, they're real. they're not cardboard. Okay. Yeah, and using the straps now really takes the emphasis off of the forearms. I don't have to worry about my grip. Just focus on my back. Okay, so next set. Probably rested for me about a minute, minute and a half. Hard to tell, I'm not really looking at the clock, so. Just enough for me to catch my breath, so I'm not really huffing and puffing. And two, when I do this, it's just a preference. Whatever arm I'm pulling with, I'll put that same leg over here so I can get leverage and balance. Getting heavy now. We'll go to 6 plates, and that might be our last set of these, since we're doing more reps. I think last time for most of our sets, we were doing about 6 reps. Now we're doing 8. So more of a muscle building range than power. £75. This might be our last set. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Got 6 wheels on here. Gonna aim for 6. As that last set felt pretty darn heavy. Once it got to 6, hard to get the last 2. So this will be our last set of these. And then we'll move on to our strict bent over barbell rows. All right, here we go. Okay, we'll just do 5. Okay. Last arm for the last set. Here we go. That's the last of those. Okay. Okay, so this is our fourth set. I didn't include my set with the bar, but started with 65, 85, and then the 3 plates, what is that? 105, and now we're about 125. So yeah, I've been doing about 12 reps for each set. Still trying to get a nice deep stretch in there. And as we're going at the top of the rep, I'm really trying to be careful so I don't angle or incline my back too much to activate too much of the traps. So I really want to try to keep a lot more of the emphasis on the back itself. So a nice deep stretch here. And still, even movements like this, I can pretend that I'm deadlifting so that I'm strict coming out. So yeah, here we go. Yeah. Whew. Really careful getting up and out of this. Whew. All right, doing some cable flies now. We're switching things up a little bit. I was going to do a compound lift at the end, but I'm going to do the cable flies and I'll probably do a little bit of the pec deck flies. Ready to several field sets here, just getting everything nice and stretched in, or stretched. So with these kind of exercises, especially when we're doing a lot of the cable flies or dumbbell flies, I really like to make sure everything is nice and slowly stretched, just because it feels different. So, all right, let's go. Okay. Like to get a nice deep stretch. All right. Okay, we'll do a couple more sets here, and then we'll move on to the pec deck. Heck, I might even superset with all three of them. I don't know what you call that. And the same thing with these. I've already done several field sets, so I think I'm going to start to do these more because I get such a stretch. I don't know, I've always thought of just doing these with that little T-bar. But doing this for like a wide grip, it's really no different than your bent over rows, except there's just a lot more stabilizing muscles that are used, and it's safer as well. So let's get a really deep stretch with this. like to have a nice stretch and kind of turning my hands down as if you're doing a wrist curl. And as I go to the top, I kind of let my chest come up. Just easier on my joints that way as I stretch. Whew, man. Oh, man. Okay, 160 on here now. And I use a little bit more body English on this. Whew. Just be careful as you do it. Mind your back. You can do a really deep stretch that way, or you can go really strict. But I usually do a lot more of a loose form with this, the heavier I go, just so I can get that much more of the fibers hit. Really no right or wrong way with this, as long as your back feels safe. A little safer on the cable machines versus free weights. We'll do our last set here. It's starting to feel pretty heavy. I get a really good pump from a lot of flies. That's the way Jay Cutler was too. As wide as his shoulders were, as much as his shoulders wanted to take the work, he had to do fly movements to really build up his chest. I feel the same. Come on. Wow. That's wearing out it. That's wearing out the chest. Ooh. That's all she wrote for that exercise. Man. All right, moving on to pec deck flies. I've already done 3 feel sets just to get things stretched even further, especially with these kind of movements. The pec deck, anything cable, like I was saying earlier, is really sensitive on my shoulders, my tie-ins, my rotator cuff. So I'm very careful with doing these. So nice deep stretch. And everyone's different. Stretch as much as you can in a safe manner. And if you want more bend to your elbows, that's good too. Whether it's super wide or it's a little narrower like a push press, both are going to give you great growth. Slowly come out of it. And within these kind of exercises, you don't necessarily have to use a lot of weight to get the job done, to get that muscle-mind connection. And so that's the one thing that I've really grown to appreciate as many years as I've lifted, is being able to feel the weights a lot more. You hear people talk about it in the videos like Jay Cutler and one of those guys. And it's like you kind of understand it to a degree, but then once you've done it for a number of years and you start to understand, like, okay, certain weights, I can feel the muscles work better. I can feel them contract better. Even though, I mean, I might have 2 more sets to where I go a lot heavier and I'm still in really good form. It's just I don't feel it as well. It's going to give me really good growth, but I honestly prefer those sets that are a little lighter and that I can really feel a lot more of the muscle with that muscle-mind connection. And so it's an important thing. Because it's like obviously as you progressively overload, the stronger a muscle is, generally the bigger the muscle is going to be. Makes sense, right? Unless you are training in a very specific way, like a power lifter, or training for max numbers. Then like the tissue and the tendons, it's just a completely different kind of training, which I think it's smart too. Another gentleman that I like following is Michael Hearn, and he's into power bodybuilding, kind of like really old school, like followed Arnold or Franco Columbu, those guys. A lot of the times during the off seasons, they would be doing powerlifting matches. And so they get really strong and be able to perfect their movements with correct form, super heavy. And so you wouldn't necessarily hear about a lot of guys injuring themselves back then, unless they were maybe doing like a strongman. If you'd ever seen Franco Columbu, I think he was carrying a fridge and they were running and he ended up blowing out his knee because he just, turned the wrong way. And so a lot of those guys back then were very strong. And so I like to do a lot of my compound movements first so I can be a lot stronger in those, and then a lot of these other isolation exercises. It's a lot more so to get the blood in there, and so I can continue to work the muscle and really isolate it and help it grow. And so I'm still into the numbers, still trying to progressively overload. I really would like to be able to use as much weight as I possibly can in the correct form. And obviously when Father Time catches up to me, it gets harder and harder to do. So then you can start trying to play around with reps a lot more. Try to do a certain number for reps, and you can build a lot of muscle that way too. If you want to, if you're doing sets of 20 with squats and trying to progressively overload, like maybe 5 or 10 pounds a month, if you're able to, with still 20 reps, you're going to get bigger. I mean, the amount of weight that your legs can handle for reps will probably really surprise people, because your legs are made for endurance. If you think of it, you're walking on them all the time, right? Same, especially with your calves. Your calves even more so. You can do not only really heavy weight, but a lot of reps too. So it's good to do a combination there. So yeah, legs, you can get away with a lot more with legs, with the high reps and the low reps, and still cause a lot of growth versus like other parts of your body, like especially the smaller muscles, like biceps or triceps. You have to be really careful because it's not necessarily an endurance muscle. Obviously genetics has a key to play with that too. If you ever watch or follow Lee Priest, he had the same mindset. It didn't matter how small the muscle was, he trained it just as hard, and he got really good growth. He just has top tier, just incredible. I mean, even better than that. Just one out of, you know, a billion people with those kind of arms. I mean, no joke. I mean, you think of it over the years, how many people had incredible arms, like a Phil Heath, or a Ronnie Coleman, or a Jay Cutler, or an Arnold. Because you think there might be, you know, how many billion people on the planet at this point, but through the years, how many people have, you know, been born or passed away? So, I mean, billions and millions of people. So, all right. Well, we're gonna jump over there and do one more set over here, and we'll jump back here. Okay, this is gonna be our last set here. And for the flies over there, that'll probably be our last set. We've already done several sets here. Just not at the camera since they're field sets. Okay. Oh, man. And there's lots of different ways to hit a muscle. I could have easily done that for 12 reps, just with my normal powerhouse, really powering through it. But really slowing down the negative can really help, because that's the strongest part of your muscle, on that negative. So if you ever seen like Tom Platz, when you have people pushing him past failure, you look him up in other YouTube videos. A little heavier now. This will be your last set. Okay, and then I'll slowly release. We'll stop there. Could have probably done a couple more reps, but tendons and everything getting really tired. We're gonna go finish with our post 15 minutes of cardio, and then we're gonna head out of here. So. All right, welcome back, guys. Just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you guys being here with me, following along. And a shout out for tonight. We finally passed 1,000 subscribers, so I think we're at 1,001 now. So I just want to take a second and just tell you guys how much I appreciate you. I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting me and following along and commenting. It's really exciting to see our platform grow, and not just YouTube, but our other platforms as well. So thank you guys so much. Really neat to see. Yeah, pretty decent workout tonight. Decided to change up the variety of my exercises. Normally I would start with like reverse grip bench, but I wanted to switch it up. I thought I was going to do it at the end of the workout, but once we got towards the end, I was just like, I'm going to do some more I'm going to do some more cable and fly movements just to really get some blood in there. So I tend to respond quite a bit to pec deck and cable flies. Dumbbell flies to a degree too, but that top part of the movement, I don't necessarily get a full contraction. So unless I'm really trying to like flex, but even then, you're just flexing. And so, but yeah, when you're doing pec deck, it's flexing all the way through it. So yeah, really good. I got the idea from a lot of Jay Cutler stuff to where when he was trying to bring up his chest, he'd include a lot more fly movements just because his shoulders would dominate and take over. And as I've said before, when I bench, I tend to bench higher as I come down. I know a lot of people say, hey, that's wrong. You're gonna wear out your shoulders. But when I go lower, those shoulder tie-ins feel very, very vulnerable to me. So that's just me. So I feel it a lot more when I do decline, not dips. Dips, I mean, once I'm using my own weight, it's a little heavier. As I was saying before, sometimes you're using a light enough weight in certain movements, you try to force a range that you think your body's naturally gonna do. And then once it gets heavier, you kind of like adapt, like, oh, okay, there's the sweet spot. And so with the decline press, I've always had to be very, very careful. I'll still use my slingshot when I do it, but I'm very careful with going down in because it has to be a very certain angle. I know you're already, the decline is the angle, right? But no. You can go down to the neck, you can go lower in the chest, mid, underneath the chest. And for me, it's like, I can't even think of the exact spot. It's hard to see it. It's been a while since I've done it. So yeah, when I go down, it has to be a very specific angle, or I feel my tie-ins. It feels like my shoulders are really in jeopardy. So that's an exercise I'm really careful with using, just because there's always going to be a little bit of a risk with your exercises. Tom Platz would talk about that quite a bit too, where there has to be more reward over risk. Like for him, when he was doing deadlifts, he used to do, I mean, if you ever watched his videos and how he trained, he would use a lot of volume, but he would go so far past failure. I couldn't even imagine what that looked like on his deadlifts. Not a lot of film footage of him back in the day, other than what we see in clips and short videos of him just training his legs. Didn't see a lot of other stuff. So I could only imagine what that looked like. Because generally deadlifts, people will train heavy, really heavy. But if all of a sudden you thought, hey, I want to do 315, and I don't want to do it for a set of 8 reps. I want to do it for a set of 50. I mean, what would that look like? How much would your lower back be just shot and tired before maybe the rest? Or your grip, unless you had really strong grip, you'd have to use wrist straps and using a belt for even more back support. I mean, what that would look like in regards to endurance. That's why I was always very impressed with Tom Platz, because not only was he very strong on his legs, but he did a lot of reps. And that's the one thing I like about squats. It's different from anything else. Deadlifts, I don't really care for deadlifts as much. It's just never been my cup of tea, even though I still force myself to do them because it's a very important exercise. It's probably more important than squats. But when you get under a bar and you unrack it and it's heavy, and not only is it heavy, but you know that you're going to be handling it for reps, that can be really intimidating. It really can almost knock you out before you even start the set. Intimidate you. So it's like you really have to prepare yourself before you go into the sets. That's not life or death. I mean, as long as you're careful and everything. So many people act like, you know, you got to be ready for it. So it's just, we're working out. We're not sending a man to the moon, you know. So as long as you're being careful, as safe as you can be, having squat rack guards up, do as much as you can to protect yourself. I've seen in a lot of Sam Sulek's videos before that he takes his squats to failure. And that honestly is something I've never done. The idea of going to failure with your squats is kind of scary. Because, I mean, deadlifts, you try to get it up and you can't get it up, you drop it or you set it down halfway through, whatever. Bench press, obviously too, you gotta be careful there too. But squats, to push yourself past failure to the point where, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna get this last rep. And then he would go all the way down and get partial up, and then have to set the weight down in the rack. That's really impressive. That's hard and scary stuff. Very intimidating. Especially with the weight he's using. He's using like 5 plates for a lot of reps. And as tall as he is, was he 5'10", 5'11"? I mean, not much shorter than Arnold. Close stance. He's going below parallel when he does his squats, or right at parallel. As long as his legs are, that's a huge range of motion. It's like he's got to use a plate under his feet so they can go to parallel or below. So, overall, really good workout. Back, I'm still playing it by ear. Doing back and chest together. I mean, I love it, the pump that you get, but it really wipes me out to where I can't do a lot of compound lifts. Like, we had a chest workout that we had filmed, but the memory on the camera, I thought I deleted it and I didn't. So like a third of the video is gone. So I thought, you know, we'll just redo it. So that was back then when I really pulled my back, one of my right trap. So like right next to the like the middle. Have you ever carried anything by your side before? Generally, if you pull something on your back, usually it's one of those traps that run in the middle, between your shoulders, a little below. But yeah, I did my chest and I didn't do back that day because I wanted to try to relax with my back and let it heal up. 2, I ended up pulling it in the morning. I was really dehydrated. Once you lose like 2 to 3 pounds and go to sleep, it's kind of a gross thought of, you know, you go to sleep and you're 3 pounds lighter. That's a lot of sweat to put in your pillows, your sheets, and your mattress. Yeah, when you wash, use plenty of fabric softener and detergent. But yeah, that's a hard thing for me, is really staying hydrated. I'll drink a lot of coffee and a lot of soda, and that does work. The caffeine that's in it will dehydrate you a little bit, so it's really important to drink like flavored water, carbonated water, Crystal Light. Just, I mean, you think of it, your body is mostly made of water, right? So you don't really have a lot of water, you can start to get headaches, your muscles get brittle, tendons. So a lot of those guys in their pre-contest mode, when they're dehydrating themselves, the last bit of water out before they carb up. You know, I think that's how Dorian Yates ended up getting hurt a couple times. Pre-contest mode, still progressively overloading, still lifting strong. Ronnie would do that too. Lift heavy all the way into the competition. But you gotta be really careful. Dehydrated like that, that's what it is. So yeah, I mean, you have to have your fluids up. So that's definitely something I struggle with. I mean, we're striving for perfection. I don't know if you can ever be perfect, but just strive for it. And that's the thing, take it each day at a time and striving for it. So, and when you have an off day, you don't let it defeat you. You say, you know what, I had an off day. We're gonna try harder today. So you know what, I ate too many calories yesterday and got out of a deficit. We're gonna spend the next couple days eating a little less, just to get back into a deficit. It's nice having this open here. Get to get that breeze. Of course, then again, you got a lot of bugs flying in here too that are attracted to the light. But yeah, still fairly warm in here. It's been pretty warm for the last couple days. Got to do some gardening earlier. It's not really cardio, even though digging can be cardio. So yeah, that's one thing I love doing. I've got like a green thumb. I love gardening in the back. Putting some like rose trees in the back and shrubs, or what do they call them, the double knockout roses that bloom quite a bit. Just fun things to enjoy, help you shut down. So some people, you know, they'll read a book, an audiobook, or watch TV. I'm not really big into the reading, but I like audiobooks and I like TV and TV series. And gardening, that's fun for me. Not necessarily like plants and stuff that you eat, but flowers and stuff that smells good. Just something I enjoy. So yeah, thank you guys so much again. If you like my videos, please like and comment to boost that algorithm. And shout out to all the subscribers again. Thank you so much. We're finally at 1,000 hours. Now we just got to get that watch time up. That's the hardest thing. 4,000 watch hours. And you only get those made up through the long form videos. So we're doubling down on the long form videos, being more consistent. Had a lot of things going on these last number of weeks. Traveling, friends coming into town. Our schedule's kind of been all over the place. And the easiest time for me to work out is around 9 or 10 at night. And then I don't get home until about 1. So I'd like to do earlier in the day, or like really early in the morning, but it's a circus around here in the morning. So nice to be able to film at night when there's not as many people. Not that I'm against anyone. It's just quieter, easier, not getting in other people's way. Whew. There's 15 minutes right there. So, but yeah, this is the easiest time for me, is at night. And so you'll still get a crowd in here, but it's not too crazy. So, all right, well, thank you guys so much again. I appreciate you, every single one of you. Yeah, please comment and tell me what you liked about my videos, what exercises that you guys like for back and chest. And yeah, let's just keep expanding, and help me with those hours, guys. You can binge watch my movies, or not my movies, but my long form videos on my workouts. And then I'll gradually show my calorie deficit as they gradually get leaner. So I'd like to try to bump it a little bit more. I'd like to get to 190. We're about 193, 194 right now, like fully dehydrated. So I'd like to be able to push that a little bit more. Get the cardio before and after we train. Nothing too crazy, as I might take my pre-workout before we get in here, and I don't want to spend too much time doing cardio and take away from the workout, especially doing a workout like this to where we're doing both chest and back. I should have taken a carb drink tonight, and I didn't. So yeah, I was really feeling that, trying to finish up, start to run out of energy. So yeah, all right, well, you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful night whenever you're watching me, and appreciate every single one of you. Thanks again. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.